You stand in the shower and you watch it happen. Hair wrapping around your fingers, gathering at the drain. More than yesterday, more than last week, more than you can keep telling yourself is normal. You pull a brush through your hair and you look at what comes out and your stomach drops. You check your pillow in the morning. You see it on the bathroom floor. You notice it on the back of your chair at work. And everyone around you says the same thing. It is genetics. It is just stress. It runs in your family. There is nothing you can do about it. So you accept it. You buy the expensive shampoo. You try the hair vitamins from the internet. You tell yourself it is not that bad yet, but it keeps falling. And nobody told you the truth. Your hair is not falling out because of your genes. Your hair is falling out because your body has decided your scalp is not important enough to feed. Something deeper is broken, something internal. Something that has been building silently for months or years before a single strand hit that shower drain. And until you find what that something is, no shampoo, no supplement, no topical treatment will stop it. Today, I am going to show you exactly what is happening inside your body when hair falls out at this rate. The real biological reasons your scalp is being starved. The hormones, the deficiencies, the silent conditions that are destroying your hair follicles from the inside out. And what the warning signs are that most people and most doctors completely miss. Stay with me, because your hair is trying to tell you something, and it is time to listen. Let us start with what hair actually is and why your body loses it when something goes wrong internally. Your hair is not a priority to your body. That is the brutal biological truth. Your body operates on a strict hierarchy of survival. When resources become scarce, when nutrients are low, when hormones are disrupted, when inflammation is high, when organs are under stress, your body makes calculated decisions about where to send its limited resources. It sends them to your heart, your brain, your liver, your lungs, the organs keeping you alive. Your hair follicles sit at the absolute bottom of that priority list. So when your body is under any form of internal stress, nutritional, hormonal, inflammatory, toxic, it pulls resources away from your scalp first. It redirects blood flow, nutrients, and hormones away from hair follicles. The follicles weaken, they shrink, they produce thinner, shorter strands, and eventually they stop producing altogether. Your hair falling out is not the disease. It is the symptom. It is your body waving a red flag telling you that something deeper is wrong and has been wrong for a long time. The question is, what is that something? The first and most common hidden cause of hair loss that almost nobody checks is iron deficiency. Not full anemia, not the kind that shows up dramatically on a blood test. Subclinical iron deficiency, the kind where your iron levels are technically within the normal range, but are far too low to support hair growth. Your hair follicles are among the most rapidly dividing cells in your entire body. They require a constant, generous supply of iron to function. Iron carries oxygen through the blood to every cell in your body, including the cells at the base of your hair follicles that determine whether hair grows or dies. When iron is even slightly low, hair follicles are the first place the body pulls supply from. The follicle goes into a resting phase. Growth stops. And weeks later, you see the result in the shower drain. The critical thing to understand here is that a standard iron test is not enough. Most doctors check serum iron and call it normal, but the number you actually need to know is your ferritin level. Ferritin is the stored form of iron, and research consistently shows that hair loss begins when ferritin drops below 70 nanograms per milliliter, even when serum iron looks completely normal. Most labs flag ferritin as low only when it drops below 12, which means you could have ferritin at 20, 30, or 40. Your doctor looks at the number and tells you it is fine, and your hair keeps falling out while the real cause goes undetected. Ask for your ferritin specifically, not just iron, ferritin. That number changes everything. The second hidden cause is thyroid dysfunction. Your thyroid gland produces hormones that regulate the growth cycle of every hair follicle on your body. When thyroid hormone is too low, which is called hypothyroidism, the hair growth cycle slows dramatically. Follicles spend more time in the resting phase and less time actively growing. Hair becomes thin, brittle, dry, and it falls out in much larger quantities than normal. The devastating thing about thyroid-related hair loss is that it is diffuse. It does not happen in patches. It happens everywhere, all over the scalp, which makes it easy to dismiss as normal shedding or genetics. And just like iron, the standard thyroid test misses this constantly. A basic TSH test will come back normal in many people who are functionally hypothyroid. You need a full thyroid panel, TSH, free T3, free T4, and thyroid antibodies to get the real picture. Hashimoto's disease, the autoimmune condition where your immune system attacks your own thyroid, is one of the most underdiagnosed conditions in women and one of the most common causes of unexplained hair loss. You can have Hashimoto's for years with a normal TSH, losing hair every single day, being told your thyroid is fine. It is not fine, and the hair loss will not stop until the thyroid is properly addressed. The third cause is the one that surprises people the most: chronic inflammation. Your scalp has a blood supply. Hair follicles are fed by tiny capillaries that bring nutrients and oxygen directly to the follicle base. When chronic inflammation is present in the body, those capillaries constrict. Blood flow to the scalp decreases. Follicles are starved of the nutrients they need to produce hair. And chronic inflammation in the modern world comes from everywhere. Ultra-processed food, refined seed oils, high sugar intake, chronic stress, poor sleep, environmental toxins, gut dysfunction, every inflammatory meal, every night of poor sleep, every sustained stress response, every toxin your liver cannot clear fast enough. All of it creates systemic inflammation that quietly chokes the blood supply to your scalp. And you watch the hair fall out and you buy another bottle of biotin thinking that will fix it. It will not, because biotin does not put out the fire. It does not restore blood flow. It does not reduce the inflammation that is strangling your follicles from beneath the surface. The fourth cause is hormonal, and it is the one that affects women the most severely and the most silently. It is called androgenic alopecia driven by DHT. And before you stop me and say that sounds like a genetics issue, stay with me. Because the genetics only loads the gun. Your hormones pull the trigger. And your hormones are something you can actually influence. DHT stands for dihydrotestosterone. It is a hormone derived from testosterone. Both men and women produce it, and in people who are genetically sensitive to it, DHT binds to receptors in hair follicles and causes them to shrink progressively over time. This is called miniaturization. The follicle gets smaller, the hair it produces gets finer and shorter, until eventually it produces nothing at all. But here's what almost nobody tells you. DHT levels are heavily influenced by your overall hormonal environment. Excess insulin drives up androgen production, including DHT. Estrogen imbalance changes the ratio of hormones in ways that make follicles more vulnerable to DHT. Cortisol, chronically elevated by ongoing stress, increases androgen activity, which means that the dietary choices creating insulin resistance, the liver dysfunction allowing estrogen to build up, and the chronic stress keeping cortisol elevated are all directly feeding the hormonal environment that accelerates hair follicle destruction. This is not just genetics. This is your internal biology, and large parts of it are changeable. The fifth cause is one that has exploded in recent years and is now one of the fastest growing reasons for hair loss in young adults: nutritional deficiency. Specifically, the combination of low protein, low zinc, low vitamin D, and low B12. Hair is made almost entirely of a protein called keratin. Your body needs adequate dietary protein every single day to produce it. When protein intake is chronically low, hair production slows or stops entirely. Zinc is essential for the enzymes that regulate hair follicle cycling. Low zinc causes diffuse hair thinning across the entire scalp and is extremely common, especially in people eating plant-heavy diets without adequate supplementation. Vitamin D receptors exist in hair follicles. Research has found a strong and consistent link between vitamin D deficiency and hair loss. And vitamin D deficiency is now estimated to affect over 1 billion people worldwide, making it one of the most common nutritional gaps on Earth. B12 deficiency, increasingly common in people over 40, people on certain medications like metformin, and anyone not consuming animal products regularly, directly impairs the production of red blood cells that carry oxygen to hair follicles. Low B12 means less oxygen reaching the follicle, and less oxygen means the follicle slows down or shuts off. The cruel thing is that these deficiencies develop slowly over months and years. Your body quietly depletes its reserves. And then one day, the hair starts falling, and you think it happened suddenly. It did not. It was building the entire time. Now let me give you the warning signs that your hair loss is driven by something internal and not just surface-level genetics. Hair falling out across the entire scalp evenly rather than in one specific area. Diffuse shedding is almost always a systemic signal. Genetic hair loss tends to follow a pattern: temples, crown, hairline. Diffuse all-over shedding points to nutrition, thyroid, iron, or inflammation. Hair loss that came on suddenly or noticeably within the last 6 to 12 months. Genetic hair loss is slow and gradual over decades. Sudden accelerated loss points to a recent internal trigger: a crash diet, a period of extreme stress, a thyroid shift, a postpartum hormonal change. Hair that has become noticeably thinner in texture. Not just fewer strands, but finer, weaker strands that break easily. This is the hallmark of follicle miniaturization, driven by hormonal or nutritional factors. Hair loss accompanied by fatigue, brain fog, feeling cold, weight changes, or mood disruption. These are systemic symptoms that point toward thyroid dysfunction, iron deficiency, or hormone imbalance, not genetics. Eyebrow thinning, particularly the outer third of the eyebrow. This specific pattern is one of the most reliable indicators of thyroid dysfunction and is consistently overlooked. Scalp that feels tight, itchy, or inflamed. Scalp inflammation restricts blood flow to follicles and is a direct local sign that something is wrong beneath the surface. Count how many of those apply to you, because if you recognize more than 2, your hair is begging you to look inward. So here's exactly what you need to do. Go to your doctor and ask for a specific blood panel. Do not just say my hair is falling out and see what they order. Ask specifically for ferritin, full thyroid panel, including free T3, free T4, TSH and thyroid antibodies, vitamin D, B12, zinc, and a complete hormone panel, including testosterone, DHT, and estrogen levels. These tests together give you a complete picture of what your body is actually doing internally. And in the vast majority of cases of unexplained hair loss, at least one of these will come back abnormal. While you wait for results, focus immediately on protein. Your hair is made of it. Most people eating a modern diet are chronically under-consuming protein. Aim for at least 1 gram per pound of body weight every single day. Real protein from real food. Eggs, meat, fish, legumes, not just protein bars and shakes. Remove the processed foods, the seed oils, and the sugar that are fueling the inflammation strangling your follicles. This is not optional. This is the foundation. No scalp treatment works on an inflamed, nutrient-starved body. Get your iron and ferritin up if they are low. Not over-the-counter supplements alone. Work with your doctor to find the right form and dose for your body. Some forms of iron are absorbed poorly. The type and timing of supplementation matters. And if your thyroid or hormone results come back abnormal, do not accept being told they are borderline or close enough. Borderline is not optimal. Your hair follicles need optimal. Push for treatment. Push for a specialist. Push for a complete answer. Your hair is not falling out because of your grandmother. It is falling out because your body is under a form of internal stress that has gone unrecognized, untested, and untreated. And the shower drain and the pillow and the brush have been trying to tell you that for months. The genetics argument is the easiest thing for everyone around you to say. It closes the conversation. It removes the need to investigate. It gives you something to blame that you cannot change. But the truth is far more hopeful than that, because nutrients can be restored, hormones can be rebalanced, inflammation can be reduced, thyroid function can be supported and treated, blood flow to the scalp can be improved. Your follicles are not dead. For the vast majority of people watching this, they are dormant. They are waiting. They are starving for the signal that it is safe to grow again. Give them that signal. Start with the blood test. Start with the protein. Start with removing what is inflaming your system. And for the first time, instead of treating the hair, treat the body the hair belongs to. That is where the answer has always been.